Welcome home, where we provide information, inspiration, and motivator after motivator after motivator here on America's Next. I have Shay Brown here with me today. How you doing, Shay?
What's up, everybody? It's a great day, Cedric. It is an honor and a privilege, a treat and a treasure to be here, man. I love what you're doing with America's Next Motivator. I love how not only are you motivating individuals, but you're also sharing lessons. You're also sharing rules, and you're also sharing things that they can do to go to an entirely different level. So this platform is amazing. For anyone that's out there watching, continue to tune in. Continue to plug in. Even after my show, come to another show because Cedric, he's the real deal, everybody. No question about that at all.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the show that's going to go out into the world, is going to reverberate, and is going to help someone, and this is going to help someone else, and they're going to help someone else, because you're going to like here, you're going to share here, and you're going to tag other people into this conversation. I want to say hi to everybody who's coming into our broadcast today. I want to say thank you, whether you're on Roku TV, Android TV, Apple TV, Facebook, or YouTube. I want to say thank you. We are at episode 154, and I could not be here without you. So I just want to slow it down right here in the beginning with the heartfelt thank you for your time today. Shay, where you from?
Man, I'm from an area called Washington, D.C. Now, here's what's really cool about Washington, D.C. We're known for what's called go-go music, right? And a lot of folks don't know what go-go music is, but just know it's a little combination between some jazz and some hip hop that's kind of infused together with a nice smooth beat. And one of the things about growing up in Washington, D.C. that I learned, I grew up on 16th and Meridian Street, which is just on the other side of Capitol Hill, going up 16th Street, is my dad, who was in local politics, used to always share with us the importance of stopping to serve other folks. Now, I didn't like doing that back then, by the way. I didn't like going down to the kitchen just so I can sit there and hand out food. I wish I could tell you when I was a little kid that I was excited about doing that kind of stuff. But growing up in Washington, D.C., I wasn't. But looking back now, I'm so glad that my father took time to instill in me the importance of helping other folks. And I thought it was an oxymoron, because sometimes I'll be complaining about stuff I didn't have, a new pair of Nikes, or I wanted to go to something and I couldn't go there, Cedric. And yet here we are serving and helping other people. And, when people think of Washington, D.C., they don't think about that. They think of politics. They think of what's going on in the White House. They think of Capitol Hill or Monument. What they don't think of is the good folks, over 800,000, who live in Washington, D.C., who have taxation without representation. So we pay taxes, yet we can't vote. But yet we're able still to serve and help our local community. So, yeah, I'm from Washington, D.C. I believe it's the greatest city in the world. And I'm happy to do that. I'm happy that the lesson my dad taught me: always give to other people. No matter what you have, whatever you have can help someone else. And I close with this, Cedric. He used to always say, son, you're always in the middle. There's some folks doing a whole lot better than you, and there's a lot of folks doing a whole lot worse than you. You always want to help everybody doing not maybe as well as you are, while you still try to better yourself. And, 53 years later, my dad's no longer here. His name was Marshall Brown. He passed away May 2nd, 2017. But I still have those words and those principles that I can share with your audience. So yeah, that's where I was from, man. I had to tell you I'm from Washington, D.C. And I had to share what I'm most proud about being from Washington, D.C. So all my Washington, D.C. folks, what's up?
What's up? What's up? What's up? What does go-go music stem from? Who are the pioneers of go-go music? Who can we go out there and look up and discover in terms of go-go music?
Sure. There's two bands that I would mention right away. Many of you have never heard a guy named Chuck Brown. So if you type in Chuck Brown go-go, Chuck Brown go-go, he had that song, I need the money, need the money, money, money. Okay. That's the only song that went all the way around the world, by the way. His name is Chuck Brown. And he's no longer with us in go-go. He's the father of go-go music, by the way. And I used to go over to a place called the Black Hole on 14th and U Street. Now, I had to sneak in back then because I was under 14, right? Shh. None of y'all need to do that. We all social distancing. Y'all can't do that now anyway. and he would be there, and he would play the bass guitar, and he would be sharing over and over and over again what's called a call out. And I grew up in a Pentecostal church, by the way. My mom was a bishop back in the 70s when it wasn't popular being a woman bishop. And in the church, Pentecostal church, with no more than 38 members, 25 kids. I was one of the kids, by the way. But the reason I tell you that story is that we used to do call outs in church. So the minister would say something. Y'all hear me? Yes, we hear you. Do y'all feel me? Yes, we feel you. Right. Stand up and give the person a high five. And in go-go music, they took that same concept. By the way, Cedric, you said who's one of the pioneers, Chuck Brown, and he brought that over to go-go. And yeah, the beat was smooth and the congos was amazing. But then he would do a call out. Where y'all from? We like 14th Street. Where y'all from? Northwest. And so it brought a collaboration together. Now, in about 1 minute, the other go-go band, since we're talking about go-go bands, I mean, this thing is just a smooth conversation. Another one is called EU, Experience Unlimited. They're best known for being in the movie The Butt, right? Doing the butt.
Yeah, I heard that song before. Yep.
I know, I'm over 50, okay? I have my AARP card. I'm part of the Puff Daddy generation, okay? So you might not know about that, but the remix version, of that is Doing the Butt. And you might have seen that in a Spike Lee movie, by the way.
Right. That's
Experience Unlimited, better known as EU, with Sugar Bear. Yeah.
Talk to us.
That's a little bit of my old school back in the 80s. I know. My sons were like, Dad, don't talk about the 80s and 90s. It's like cowboys and Indians. No, son, that wasn't the case. It was go-go music.
well, you know, when you say that, you know, that you're in your fifth decade here and that your peers are people like Diddy, I think that brings it home that you're someone who we are already in the process of looking up to in America. When I hear Shay Brown, I don't necessarily think, oh, he's in the same age bracket as P. Diddy. But when you say it like that, it's like we've got a star in the building today. And can you talk to us about what it means for you to be in your fifth decade of life? What is the significance of it? And who are you today in your fifth decade?
You know, first time I've ever been asked that question in my entire life, man. That's a really good question. First, who am I? And I'm still trying to figure that out. Even at 53, I mean, I know that I'm a father because my two sons are now adults. So I know I'm a father. I know I'm a husband, and I love my wife. I'm on my third marriage, man. So I've had two marriages that just didn't work out. But the third marriage has been a charm to a woman that I was in love with in high school. And we got to reconnect. And when I was in high school, I wasn't part of the cool kids club, right? And she was a star cheerleader and I wasn't a football player or a basketball player. So she didn't date me back then. But we were able to reconnect many years later. And as a result, we're now married. And now we're together. So that's amazing. So I know I'm a husband. I know I'm a son because my mother, Dr. Cammie B. Jeffers, is still here. I love Mother dear. She's 73 years old, lives 15 minutes away from me. And I get a chance to take her to the doctor, I get a chance to hang out with her. She uses my Amazon, by the way. It has my credit card on it, but it's all cool, Mother dear. I love you so much. In fact, we're taking her to get her shot with the situation, depending on when y'all watch this and see this, of what's going on right now. So she will be getting her shot tomorrow at 2:00. I know I'm an entrepreneur. Okay. I know I'm a man of God. I know I pay my taxes, and I know I want to make a big difference in the world. I do know that. So while I'm still trying to figure out who I am, I know I was called to help entrepreneurs really generate revenue that they need in their business to purchase the resources that are necessary to execute the vision they have for the people they were called to serve. And I always say, Cedric, I believe there's three visions that I believe everyone has. And then I'll tell you one of the lessons I learned. I believe that first you have a vision for yourself, like the way you want to live, the home that you want to be in, the food that you want to eat. And if you're an entrepreneur and one of your challenges is, how do I generate enough revenue so I can live the life I want? That's number one. The second vision you have is you have a vision for your loved ones. Some of you have kids that you love very, very much, and you want to send them to a school of your choice. And some of you want to write a check for causes you believe in. So you have a second vision. And as an entrepreneur, to execute that vision, it takes resources. That means you need some revenue in your business. I'm speaking to the entrepreneurs out there. Even if you're not an entrepreneur, you still got to go to work so you can generate some revenue so you can pay for these things that you want. And then the third vision you have for all of my entrepreneurs, I see Yvonne Gay, it's out there. I see you, Mary Evans.
Hold on. Let me acknowledge Miss Yvonne G, who partners with Mary Evans. They also do an excellent broadcast called the SOS Show. And so they are visiting us today. I want to say hello to them. Also, Yolanda Riley is in the building. We are dealing with a very dynamic guest today. This man is full of energy. He's full of thoughts. He's full of wisdom. And I am just trying to pull as many tools out of the toolbox as I possibly can. He pulls so many out. He pulls so many tools out at once that sometimes we just got to sit back and go for the ride. But right now, we're talking about the visions that people develop as they go through life. And he believes that there are 3 of them, at least, that we need to have. First is vision for yourself. Second is vision for your loved ones. And what's the next one?
The third one for the entrepreneurs out there is, and the question he asked was, who am I and what have I learned over this 53 years of, so I'm giving you one piece of that now. But the third vision is a vision for the people you were called to serve. And I want you to imagine for a moment that you're an entrepreneur. You need some resources. And imagine that you're Noah in the Bible. Now, you don't have to be a believer, okay? I happen to be a believer. You don't have to be a believer to get this point. But imagine you're Noah in the Bible. There's a character. And right before he's to get started on this journey, he has all the experience he has. That might be you. He has all the expertise. That might be you. Before he gets started, imagine there's a knock at the door. He's like, what's going on? Yo, Noah, over here, man. There are no hammers in the house. No hammers? What? No big deal. Excuse me? No, yo, I might as well let you know. No hammers. I ain't got no nails either. No hammers, no nails. Rule number 1 is we don't panic. Right. Now, how many know it's that third knock at the door? And Noah looks back and says, oh my gosh, third knock. What's going on? You in the back. What's going on? Person says, yo, Noah, I might as well confess, we ain't got no wood and we don't have no people. Good luck on this mission. And maybe that's you right now. You've got a big heart as an entrepreneur. You want to give so much as an entrepreneur, but the vision you have, you need resources. That means you need some revenue to purchase a website. You need some revenue to purchase an administrative assistant. You need a revenue to purchase a coaching firm. You need revenue in order to get your marketing off the gate. You need revenue. Without revenue, there are no resources. Without resources, you can't execute that big vision you have for the people you were called to serve. So the point that I want to make out of giving that analogy is that it takes resources, and the only way to have resources is to connect with other people. Shay, why? Tell me why and how this works for me. What's the takeaway from that story, Shay? Jot this down in your notes. Put this on your notes. Success is a team sport. You can only get so far by yourself. Let me say that one more time if I can. Success is a team sport. You can only get so far trying to do everything by yourself. Quick story. There I was at Godwin Middle School. I'm in the 7th grade. I'm trying out for the basketball team with Coach Fred Miller. I'm excited. I'd worked my butt off all summer. I ain't working with anybody. It was just me. I'm out there sweating, playing. You know, I ain't have no camps back then. My parents couldn't send me no freaking camps. And I go try out for the team. I know I'm making this team because I'm like the baddest cat out there. I go find my name on the list, and I'm looking on the list now, and the list is not looking good. And I'm going to the bottom, and my name not on the list. You know what that means? I was cut. I'm hurt. I'm crushed. And as a result of being crushed, I thought maybe the team was prejudiced because of me, because I was shorter than everybody else, right? They must be, he don't recognize my talent. My dad says to me, son, I want you to go be a statistician. Because I was like, oh, I can't believe they didn't do this. See, success is a team sport. Listen, I'm going somewhere. Oh, man, I should have made it. I was upset. As a kid, I didn't know any better. I want you to go be a statistician. What is a statistician, Dad? Well, the person keeps all the stats, gets to come to the games, learn all the plays. I'm thinking to myself, that sounds cool. I go do that role. Now, I didn't know then it was a water boy, okay? No one told me I was going to be a water boy on the team. But the lesson I learned, this is one lesson I learned as a young man, is that the best players didn't always get in the game. Wow. The superstars with the most talent didn't start. Isn't that how life is? The people that got in the game were the people who were willing to work with the other team members. Folks who got in the game were folks who understood the plays. The person came off the bench often has played more minutes was someone who could listen to what the coach was saying and implement it because they knew it wasn't all about them. The point I make is that success is a team sport. 53 years old, many years after being in middle school, I'm still looking for Coach Fred Miller. I ain't forgot about you, Coach Fred Miller. I'm still mad. I'm still upset. I ain't letting it go. But I will tell you, you taught me something. Success is a team sport. And ever since then, on this journey of life, one of the things I've been able to do is make sure I partner with other folks, that I work together with other folks, and that I'll give the competition. And that's why I'm here with you now, Cedric. The reason I'm here serving with you is I believe that success is a team sport. You allow me to be here on your platform. You have a wonderful community. So now you're sharing my message with your community. And by the same trait, I'm able to share your message with my community. And in a time in the world when most folks are operating from a place of scarcity, I'm going to hold on over here because I don't want you to know who I am. No, you can't get to know any of my people. They ain't even your people. Can't know my people. Not Cedric. He's like, right. I operate in the spirit of collaboration. So if you're out there right now, I want you to put this in your notes. Success is a team sport. You can only get so far by yourself. That's the point. Ask yourself, where in my business can I collaborate with more folks? Is it as a business owner? Is it as a parent? I can work with other parents and learn from other parents. Is it at the job where I can collaborate more with others? Is it in my community where I can work in harmony with other folks and do things? See, we all can get better at the spirit of collaborating, and you can make a decision right now that you're going to be the number one collaborator.
Absolutely. We have an opportunity, particularly today in this hour, to work together in ways that we've never done before. We can come together, we can exchange ideas, we can exchange values, and we can make each other's lives better. He says success is a team sport. I can't say it better than that. Success is a team sport. Be encouraged to come together, to work together, and to do something bigger and better potentially than what you've done in the past. Now, your father planted a seed for you that carried you well into today, which is the value of service. Almost as if there is an obligation in one's life to serve others. And out of that obligation to serve others, you become a salesman. Am I connecting that properly?
Yeah, that's a good way of walking it there. The way I became a salesman, let me give them the 2-minute backstory if I can. Can I frame the conversation for those folks that are watching? Is I found myself being laid off. Okay, I only worked for 2 companies my whole career, and this particular company was the second company. I worked for Verizon. Verizon after undergrad. Citibank after undergraduate. I went to Morgan State University, and then after graduate school, I went to Johns Hopkins University. I worked for Verizon for 9 years. They laid me off back on May 31st, 2004. I decide, like some of you, that I'm going to go do my thing. Some of my homies had their own companies. I'm thinking, wait a minute, they got their own business. Why can't I have mine? I go home, I hang my shingle out the door. I call myself Coach Shay. Yeah, I got a little bit of money coming from the 401k. From the layoffs. I'm good for about almost 12 months. I get started. They're going to hire me. I worked in corporate America. Guess what? Didn't nobody hire me. How many of you out there know you got started, you was ready to go, and you could serve, and nobody's hiring you right now, or they're not hiring you enough to allow you to pay your bills? Now, here's the story. My then wife decides to leave me. Okay, so wife leaves. Okay, that's a traumatic event. Now I'm working full-time in my business, not bringing any money. Wife leaves. My 2 sons decide they're going to come live with me. What's up with that? Normally they go stay with the mom and dad, but no, they're going to come live with dad. So now I'm broke, got 2 extra mouths to feed, running out of money, burning through my 401k. And then one day I'm working. Imagine I'm upstairs, but I'm downstairs. Now I'm working, and there's a knock at the door. And they're like, Dad, come downstairs. I'm like, what's going on?
Hold on. This moment right here is a place where thousands of people across the country can identify with your story. Financially, things are not looking the way that you want them to look. It doesn't mean that people are going to stop needing you. It doesn't mean that your future halts. You've got to find a way to move forward in financial hardship, and when it looks like your dreams aren't coming to fruition. That's Anywhere USA right now.
Yeah.
Get someone else into the building with us today, family, for this conversation. Shay is moving fast, but the things that he's saying is extremely relevant. And so I want this to be everybody's victory today. I can identify with you when you're talking about financial hardship, people leaving, people coming with the objective of moving forward in your life. I'm extremely interested in what you did next with the pressure that came along with not knowing exactly how you were going to move forward at that time. Go ahead.
Yeah, I wish I could say it just exploded for me, but it didn't. When my son said, Dad, come downstairs. Someone's still in the car. I run outside. I run downstairs. I look out the window, and there's my car being repossessed.
That's right.
I look over at my sons in that moment. First, I look at my sons, and I look back over, and I give the guy a nod, the brother nod. Like, he looks at me, right. Understand, got to take your car, man. That's kind of what happens. I looked over my sons, and I told him the car is just going to the garage. Mm-hmm. I lied.
Yeah. And
it was in that moment that I had the never again moment. Now, have you ever had the never again moment? That moment where you tell yourself, never again would I come home and hit the light switch and the lights don't come on. Y'all might not know about that. Never again would I put the cable on and the internet on. It says call Comcast. Y'all might not know about that. Never again would I find myself down at the courthouse in bankruptcy. Never again would I let one client, if they don't show up, I don't eat. Okay. Very, very serious. And I want you to write down, what was your never again moment? Like, right. What was that moment that you had? You told yourself, never again would I borrow money from a family member, knowing I can't pay him back.
That's right.
What was your never? I felt at that point, Cedric, I felt as a failure as a husband, because now I'm divorced. Failure as a father, because I can't take care of my family. Failure as an entrepreneur, because ain't nobody hiring me. Failure as a human being.
How did you cope at that time?
Yeah, the next step in that moment of failure is I told myself, I've got to do something. And here's what I learned. Took some action, went and hired a coach, but I learned 3 words that changed my life. Because in that moment, I went to a family member, borrowed $5,000. This is 2005. That might not seem like a lot of money today, but it was a lot of money to borrow back then. And I took a class all the way in Rockland, California, and a guy by the name of Eric Loftholm, he said something to me when I was out there. He said, Shay, you should focus on sales training. What? I hate sales training. What are you talking about? I ain't no sales person. When you think about a person.
Hold up. A coach actually changed your life.
Yeah. And I'd read books. It's not like I never read books, right? And it wasn't, but sometimes, and this is the point I want them to get, Sage. Everyone jot this down in your notes. Put this in your notes, and then I'm going to tell you to turn around, because I know where you're going, Sage. I'm taking them there right now, but you put this in your notes. I want you to hear this. There's nothing more powerful than a good idea whose time has come
to pass. Yeah.
There's nothing more powerful, put that in your notes, than a good idea whose time has come. So I heard an idea. One, like I heard the idea before. Every business owner knows you need sales. Every business owner knows you need revenue. Every entrepreneur knows at some point someone got to pay you. But it was in that moment I said, I hate this. And I hated selling, but guess what? I needed it. How many of you out there can relate right now as you listen to me? You hate selling. You hate that part of the business, but you need the money to pay your mortgage. You need the money to pay the car note. You need the money to eat organic food. Today, I was able to order from Instacart again. I needed the money on my credit card to order from Instacart. And so what I learned was this. Put this in your notes, and I know I got to transition back to being personal, but I want you to know from business owners, all my speakers and authors and coaches and trainers and network marketers, I've given you so far 2 rules to be a comeback champion already in this conversation. But here's the point I want to make. As you're listening right now, selling is power. Put that in your notes. Selling is power. Write that down in your notes. Selling is power. Shay, what is it? Selling is power. Shay, I hate selling. Shay, what is selling the power to do? Well, you wrote down your never again moment. So selling is the power to pay your bills on time. Selling is the power to save for retirement. Selling is the power to take the fancy vacation that you want to take when we get out of this corona thing that we're in right now. Selling is the power to hire an assistant to do work that you don't want to do right now. Selling is power. Selling is power. Selling is power. Even if you hate selling, let me give you the definition of selling, and this may change your life. I will change your life if you let me. Not me, but the information. I'll give them this idea, and I'll come right back to you, Cedric. And here it is. I was talking to a client, and she was the same way I was. She hated selling. Shay, I don't even see myself in sales, she told me. I said, you're an entrepreneur, but not in sales? That's an oxymoron. It's almost impossible. I said, but I know why, because you don't want to see yourself as a sleazy car salesman. You don't be arm twisting. You don't be manipulative. So here's what I told her that changed her life. It helped her and so many of my clients, and it created a breakthrough for me. And it's going to help you right now if you hate selling and you're an entrepreneur. I said, look, selling equals service. 3 words. Jot those 3 words down in your notes. See, I'm keeping it simple for you. Selling equals service. Selling equals service. You're going to serve. You're going to solve problems. And that's going to bring in the money. Shay, what is selling about? I said, selling is about 3 things. Selling is about education. I said, you're a financial planner. Can you educate people that there's a problem? She says, yeah. Okay, well, you got to educate. Selling is about education. You can do that. Selling is about leading. Can you tell them that you solve their problem? If you build websites, you build websites. If you do hair, you do hair. If you help folks in marketing, you help people in marketing. Yes, I can lead them, Shay. Selling is about education. Selling is about leading. And selling, third, is about moving people to action. Put that down in your notes. He said, how did you become a thing named sales? I hated it, but I needed it. But I said, selling equals service. Jot this in your notes again. I hope you're taking some really good notes, because superstars, they're always writing down good notes. And this is the #1 reason people they will give you the money. Here it is. People, I'm giving it to you. This is a Shayism. Put it down. People will pay you today if you help them solve a problem today. So you don't have to sell anybody anything. You got to be in the problem-solving business. And isn't that why you got into business anyway? To do some good in the world, to help some folks, to make a difference for someone else, to have more meaning and make more money,
Absolutely.
to give $1 and a difference. How many of y'all don't make $1 and a difference at the same time? If that's you, holla at your boy, because you now can do that, because selling equals service.
You know what?
Service.
We have conversations like these to give one another access to increasingly higher frequencies. We're going up today, family. We are going up today. We're talking to Shay Brown, and he's getting everybody on a higher accord. I'd like for you guys to sit back, because we're going to take a brief break, and we'll be right back after this brief message. America's Next Motivator. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern. Tuesday and Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern. America's Next Motivator, hosted by me, Cedric Riley, and sponsored by the Pride Empowerment Network. And we're back. Shay, how you feeling out there?
Man, I'm feeling great, man. This is the right place at the right time, at the right moment with you, man, the right person. I love what you're doing, and I love what you're doing over at E360. More importantly, America's Next Motivator. Not only motivating, but sharing lessons, sharing tools, sharing techniques, sharing methodology. That's what we're sharing right now, that people can use not only to empower themselves, but to make a bigger difference in the communities they live in, man, and do so much more good in the world. So I'm excited to be here, man. Thanks so much for having me.
Without a doubt, we are going to dig deep in this second half, and we're going to get right to it. Are people scared to sell? And it's a 2-part question. Are people afraid of demanding the value that they really want from the world? Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I think what I've learned is, and let me tell you a story. I was working with another client, and, she felt like that when she was selling, she was being icky. She didn't have a problem asking for the money. I could tell a story about a male as well. So I don't think it's all about women. That's not what I'm here to talk about. But maybe you felt the same way, where, when you're selling to someone or someone's selling to you, you can tell when they're about to ask you for the money, because something changes in the conversation. Something changes in their physiology. Something changes in their voice rate. And what I found, Cedric, is that people didn't want to sound like they were reading a script. They didn't want to sound like a coach. They didn't want to sound like a woman. They didn't want to sound like some video they watch. They're like, how can I just be myself, man, and not try to convince someone or persuade someone? And what I learned is, talking to her and thousands of our clients that we work with, is they really didn't hate selling. They hated sounding like someone else. And I said, you know what? If they could learn their signature selling style, let me say that again, because that might have went over someone's head. If they could learn their signature selling style, Shay, what in the LL Cool J are you talking about? I'm glad you asked. If they could learn their signature selling style, which is how do I sell based on my DNA? How do I sell based on my experience? How do I sell based on who I am? How do I do that in my own voice? And the reality is they had never taken an assessment to understand what their signature selling style was because they didn't know. And the reason they didn't know is because no one had told them. It's not your fault. You were just trying to do what everyone else was doing. And that didn't feel good. And what I learned, Cedric, is that there's really 7 different signature selling styles. Now, we created these 7 signature selling styles based on assessments, kind of like doing a Myers-Briggs. You remember back in the day, you take a Myers-Briggs or you take a quiz, and you kind of understand your personality and who you are, the type of words you're more likely to use, and what's comfortable for your style. Well, yeah. Jot this in your notes. People form habits and habits form futures. So it's kind of like, what are your selling habits? And so we put together signature selling styles. Let me mention 2 or 3 on the time I have. And then I'm going to give you guys a special number. Y'all can just text in. I'll give a number, even my personal number. So it'll be my personal number, which is 202. I'll give it to you now so you have it. 202-270-1662. I'm going to come back to that and give y'all some instructions, but I just want to make sure that Cedric has it. It's 202-270-1662.
Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's take a moment, slow this down a little bit so that everybody can digest the magnitude of what we're exchanging. I went out there and I found an image. It has an event on it, but it also has this number that you're talking about that they should text.
I'm gonna give them. I'm gonna give a different number. I'm gonna give my personal number for this right here. We'll come back to the image because what I want to do is the 202-270-1662 is my personal number. Gotcha. And the reason I'm gonna give that to you with some special instructions in a minute to text the word signature selling style. Just text 3 words, signature selling styles. Text signature selling styles to that number 202-270-1662. Cedric's working hard over there in his team. They'll probably put it in a moment. It's because if you want to know your signature selling style. So for example, maybe as you're listening to me, you didn't realize you were the intuitive signature selling style. Shay, what is the intuitive signature selling style? That's a specific style that sells based on intuition. You might be someone that doesn't want to read a script beforehand. You're someone that doesn't want to be told what to say, but you base your selling and move people to action based on your intuition. Well, you have your own closing style. You have your own question style. And I want you to know the type of questions and style that you could do best to move people to action. Maybe as you're listening right now, you are the rock star signature selling style. And you think of a Eric Thomas, you think of a Anthony Robbins or someone like that people buy from them because of the personality. And that might be you. Maybe you are rock star signature selling style. You're like, look, this is how you move people to action based on how you did it. Look, this is how I've done it. And if I've done it this way, you can do it as well. And there's certain words you use, certain phrases you use, certain closing styles, certain techniques. And you might not know that right now. Or maybe you're the scientist signature selling style. I'm gonna give 4. I gave 3 already. Intuitive, you move people to action based on intuition. Rock star, you move people based on personality. You know, it's kind of like, follow me. I've done it this way. You must do it. Now I'm giving you 2 more. The scientist signature selling style. The scientist signature selling style. That might be you. If that's you, say, that's me, Shay, that's me. They base it all off facts and data. When you work with them, they always want to prove their case based on this and based on that, and based on this. This is why people work with me and this is why they help me out. And that's the signature selling style. Or maybe you're like myself. Maybe you use the heart-centered selling style. The heart-centered selling style means you got to move people based on emotion. And you ain't trying to trick nobody. You ain't trying to convince nobody. You ain't trying to force nobody. Like, look, I'm doing this with or without you. I'm on a mission to help people improve their business and have all the revenue they need with or without you. That might be you, and that's okay. Or maybe you're the visionary signature selling style. That's a bonus, number 5. Visionary signature selling style. And you base your move people to action based on vision. You think of number 44, one of the greatest presidents, I think, that I know of, President Barack Obama, past president, and he said, yes, I can. He painted a vision. And when you're talking to people, and Cedric does that so well, he paints a vision of what's possible for you. because people buy possibilities. That's a little bit advanced. Hey, hold that back. Okay, I'll give it to you anyway. People buy possibilities. So Cedric paints the possibility of what's out there for you should you take these steps. There's a certain signature selling style to that. And I'll close with the bonus, which is the professor signature selling style. Now, maybe one of these is you. If it's you, you can just drop a note, say, that sounds like me. You ain't even taking the assessment yet. But the professor signature selling style, they sell and move people to action based on teaching. They've got to teach you step by step something. And then they say, look, I just taught you how to do it, or I can do it. I taught you everything.
Hold on.
And that's a little advanced.
You guys tell me if I'm correct. If I'm correct, I want you to put a number 1 in the chat. Is Shay Brown on fire or what? Put a number 1 in the chat if this man is on fire. And he didn't just get started working today. If you look at his page, he's been working all day. This man is on fire. These are the examples of people that I'm talking about when I say we need to talk to our community members. We need to talk to the people who are older than us. We've got to respect what's been going on. This man is on fire. Put some ones in the chat for him. He got Shayism after Shayism after Shayism. He's not sitting here reading a book. These are jewels, information that this man is delivering to us out of his mind frame. Lanice Lee says powerful. Ani King Riley says number 1. You got ones coming in. Fire emojis coming in. That's right. This man is killing it today.
Thank you. It's an honor and a privilege, man. Thank you.
Sure,
Thank you so much.
I
really appreciate that.
What I'm gathering is this. We don't all necessarily know that we need to be able to sell. You need to sell yourself. You need to sell your product. You need to sell your service. You need to sell your present to your future. And there's an art to doing it. And there is a big market that teaches you how to do it. You don't have to try to figure out sales alone. You don't have to be an island trying to figure out how to sell with no one buying from you. There are books out there. There are people you can listen to like Shay Brown. Shay, can you name off some references that we can look into to learn how to sell? Because obviously selling it's a huge key to success. And I'll be honest, me specifically, I don't know all of the buzzwords and the keywords when it comes to selling. I know selling is important, but what you're highlighting today is that there is a such thing as a wise salesman. There is information to know. There are services and products to be bought in order to become an expert in this field. Where can we find more information on this?
Sure. There's 2 things that I would suggest. One, obviously, is I'm going to suggest that you connect with me. I'm going to give you my personal cell number so you can at least learn signature selling style. We created it because it didn't exist.
Whoa.
Okay. It didn't exist. I was just like many of you. I'm not born a natural salesperson. I told you I hate selling, but I needed it. And so I'm going to give you my personal number to connect with me, which is the 202-270-1662. I'll send you a list of books. I will send you the assessment. And just put the word Cedric in there. I got to just put the word Cedric. That's the secret back code. I get a lot of text messages. When I see it says Cedric, just make sure you include your first name so I know who you are. Make sure you include your last name. That's important so I can send you the information, and then include your email. Some of you want me to email the assessment to you, and then some of you just want me to text it to you. I get that. So include your email and best contact number. So text the word Cedric to 202-270-1662. Include your first name, include your last name, include your best contact number so we can get it to you. Take the assessment, learn your signature selling style, and then I'll personally customize. That's my gift. I can't do it for everybody. Okay, I can't. If you got a hold of this long lost video file because you found it in Cedric's archives and you're listening to the podcast, take action. You can take action. I believe this. The universe rewards people who take action differently than those that don't. If you're like, Shay, I'm not even in sales. I'm not even an entrepreneur. Well, you think about this. Everyone's always in sales.
That's right.
Ministers, they're selling faith, I think, every single week. Teachers are selling education every single day. Parents are selling values. Brush your teeth every single day. So you're selling your ideas, you're selling your thoughts, you're selling your beliefs. Selling is not a dirty thing. Selling equals service. Selling equals service. I said it earlier and it might have went over your head. You didn't jump up and shout. You didn't go running down the aisles, but I gave you something that will put $50,000 in your pocket over and beyond today in extra revenue just by you adopting that mindset that selling is service. Shay, why are you saying that? Look, there's 8 rules that we've created that you need to be successful in business. Called the 8 rules of life that I've learned. And I'll send you all 8 rules if you text me, but one of them is this one concept. I want to share this one idea with them because when I got started, and some of you may realize like this, I would get started in business, make some money, and then I have to go find some new clients. Then I got to find some new clients and then money would go down. Then I try to partner with someone and it wouldn't work out. Then I would try to launch a new product and I was always running from this seminar to that seminar, buying all the bag full of stuff, watching all the videos. And I said, how can I be successful? I'm gonna give you the idea right now. And then I want to paint the story for you to kind of support that, my personal life. And the concept idea I want you to jot this in your notes. One of my 8 rules of life, 8 rules of life. And it's in harmony with how to turn a setback into a comeback. But here it is. Systems beat goals every single time. Hope y'all all taking some good notes. I brought this. I didn't know what I was going to talk about today, but I brought it for you because Cedric said, Shay, we have a conversation. So systems beat goals every single time. Shay, why do you say that? Because goals are always in the future. The future is imaginary. The future, by definition, never exists. We're always in the present moment.
Let's break this down. Let's break this down. How do I create a system in my life right now? How do I create a system? You can use me as an example. How do I create it? How do I create a system? Go ahead.
Yeah. So there's 2 systems. The first system I would create is the number 1 system you need comes from my dad. This is a system I'm going to give you. It's the second rule of life. I'm glad you asked that question. And it's called D plus D equals D. Let me give you a formula. He wants me to do a little teaching moment. So I'll share from my father, Marshall Brown. He used to work at Ben's Chili Bowl on 14th and U Street down in Washington, D.C., a historic building. And he was one of the sages there in his older days. That means he just told stories about what was going on in D.C. because he was in civil rights and government and a whole bunch of stuff. And he told these stories. Someone asked the same question, but they would say, how do you be successful, Mr. Brown? You said, what about systems? And he would say this. He would say, it's easy to do and it's easy not to do. Mm-hmm. But if it's hard, it's the first thing you should do. We're talking about systems now. If it's hard, it's the first thing you should do. So someone always asks the question, why should you do the hard things first? And he would say, doing the hard things first develops discipline. So the system helps give you the discipline you need to work out, the discipline that you need in order to save money, the discipline you need in order to be in a great relationships. So D plus D equals D. Shay, break it down for me in 2 minutes or less. Got you. I hear you. I'm with you. I'm on your street. You're picking up what I'm putting down. You're smelling what I'm cooking in the kitchen. We all together in this bag. We are part of Motivators. I had to have a little motivation. America's Next Motivator. So I had to have a little motivator there. So the first D is decisions. You make a decision right now that you decide right now that you're going to work out. You decide right now you're going to have a successful business. You decide right now you're going to give yourself a $100,000 raise. Today is your January 1st. You can do that right now in this moment. Now, Tony Robbins says in these moments, you make your decision that it changes and does something with your destiny. That's the Shay Brown remix version on it. But Tony Robbins got part of it right. I told you I'm part of the Puff Daddy generation. Told you I got my AARP card.
Remix. Oh, this is the remix. Yeah, Diddy's known for the remix, and here you go remixing it. Go ahead.
I got a remix. So it's really decisions plus discipline. See, discipline is doing the things you know you should do when you don't feel like doing it, equals dominion. I told you I grew up in a Pentecostal church, okay? Dominion means we have control over what's going on. Some of y'all don't like dominion, so y'all can use the word dominate. So decisions plus discipline equals domination. So a system is something that's duplicatable. A system is something that's repeatable. A system is something you can do over and over again. But in order to implement the system, you've got to have the discipline. So first you make a decision, then you have the discipline. That equals domination. That equals dominion. That gives you control. Shay, if that's true, what's the opposite? The opposite is what you already been doing. You make a decision, you got happy right now. Minus discipline equals a disaster.
That's right.
Now, I know where we are right now. January the 18th was National Ditch Your Resolution Day. We're still early in the year. Some of you back on December 31st, you were excited like you are right now. After a couple drinks on the back of a napkin, you wrote down your New Year's resolutions. Well, that wasn't too long ago from where this recording is. Some of y'all don't even remember what they were. But you made the decision. I'm going to tell you right now to make a decision that you're going to change. Whatever it is, maybe right now you need to be more consistent on your health. I will say, what system do you have in place to be more consistent with your health? It's not about me. It's about you. What system can you implement right now to be more consistent with getting in front of qualified clients? The reason I'm here now with the one and only Cedric is, yes, Cedric's amazing. Yes, Cedric has a great platform. Yes, Cedric has a great show, and all of y'all are wonderful. But this is a system. The best use of my time is going one to many, talking one time to Cedric, while thousands, if not tens of thousands of you get a chance to see this. And it doesn't matter if you're seeing it live now. If you're watching the replay or listening to the podcast, thank you very much. Why, Shay? Because media never sleeps. Someone jot that down in your notes. You might need that later. Media never sleeps. So I have to have the discipline to be here. And I'm playing full out. So what can you play full out in your life right now? How would your life be different if you worked out on a consistent basis? How would your life be different if you had more fruits and vegetables? How would your life be different if you took supplements? I take supplements. How would your life be different if you just drank 8 ounces of water? This is 32 ounces, by the way.
Right.
64 ounces. That's a little bit.
8 ounces of water up to 8 times a day.
Right. That's what I say. This is 64 ounces of water. I got to drink the whole thing. Right now I'm at 330. I'm behind the 8 ball a little bit, but that's okay. Mm-hmm. We'll catch up. But my point to you is, and this is what Cedric asked. Let me make sure I answer his question. Shay, how do you implement systems? What type of systems do you need? When you look at my life, and I've been off track many times, whenever I'm off track, it's always because I don't have a system that creates habits and rituals. I don't have a system that's duplicatable that I can hand to other people. Systems, they beat goals every single time. So
when you say that systems beat goals, I'm thinking two things. I'm thinking, first of all, order is necessary. Absolutely. In your life. Order is absolutely necessary. The second thing that I'm realizing is that while we might work a day job, we've got to realize that while we use our day job to set goals that we know exist at whatever date we say that we'll meet those goals, that's not the same as creating a system that will work for you and bring you back a higher return than your one day job could ever bring you, because the system is something that could be automated. It's something that could be grown and expanded. Am I in the correct vein here?
Yeah, you're definitely in the correct vein. And one of the reasons I shared some of my personal failures with you, and I want you to know about those, is I know that you too, you have a story. Absolutely. I know you too have your rules of life. I know you too have systems that have worked very, very well from you. You're already amazing. Only the awesome people show up at Motivate America's Next Motivators show. Yeah. Only right. People with greatness inside them. So you're already a winner. If you're right-handed, take your right hand right now. If you're left-handed, take your left hand and just pat yourself on the back right now and silently acknowledge yourself for the champion that you are, for the winner that you are, for the person that you are becoming. And even if you're sitting there thinking, Shay Brown, you don't know my situation, you can't get it. I want you to tell yourself every single day when you wake up, the Shay Brown holds the belief for you. I'm a whole. Sometimes my mama believed in me before I believed in myself. When I came back from California and told her I'm gonna be one of the top 5 sales trainers of my generation, mother, I'm gonna do this thing. She says, "You're already number 1, honey." No, right. Mother, I hate selling. You don't understand. No, you are, and she believed that. So I'm gonna hold the belief. Cedric's gonna hold the belief. You can even put it on your phone right now. You can put it on your phone. Just put Shay Brown and Cedric. They hold the belief for me that you're going to get to that next level. Now, I know you have a story, and I want Cedric to show you something in a moment, because I want to invite you all to be part of something called Comeback Champion Summit. It's my gift to you. My gift to you. We're putting on the summit because I not only have a story, Cedric not only has a story, but other folks have a story. They have a message of something that's happened in their life where they got off track and they had to get back on track. Because isn't life just a whole thing of dualities? There's high highs, there's low lows, there's peaks, There's valleys, there's off seasons, on seasons, and sometimes we're just off track. And you've done some things to get back on. You might have a story or a message that can bless someone else, that can help someone else. And if that's you as you're listening, I want to give you a special number. I want you to text in, and then I want to invite you to go over to Comeback Champion Summit. I'll text you immediately all the details. It's not my number, but I'm going to text you all the number information right away, and you can be part of this summit. And it's no cost, okay? There's no Cash App needed. Ain't no Zelle payment needed today. All you got to do is show up, hit the button, click with your thumbs, get over there and register. And if you have a story, you can hit the button up top after you register, apply to speak, and we'll share your story. We'll share your message, because you've got great, and you're here for someone else. You're here to be a blessing.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to take this moment. I'm going to show this banner here in a second that describes the summit that he's talking about. And I want to expand this. I want to expand this comment. Today could be the day that you make the change in your life. If you know me, you know that I'm not playing with you. If you know me, you know that I brought someone who is genuine and who is delivering something that you can use directly in your life today. Let me tell you something. These days, every time I come across one of my friends or somebody who's on my friends list and they're selling something, I'll look in my wallet to see if I can buy it. What I'm telling you is to sell something. What I'm telling you is to teach something. I'm at a point in my life where I realize the obligation and the opportunity that we have to provide something to the world. We got to normalize providing something to the world. No, we don't just go to work every day anymore. Some of us do. Most of us are shifting the gears of our lives. We are providing things, whether it be a t-shirt, a book, a course, a lesson, you name it, you create it. I'm looking to buy it from you. I've got some things I want to sell too. Our world has to become a marketplace. We've got to start taking our money, investing it. We're seeing people gain so much wealth in the stock market, in the crypto market. This gentleman, Shay, he's doing summits and events. You think that we're not going to invest? You should also be providing something for us to invest in. That's the day and age that we're moving into. The classes in America are changing. Let's all get up into the upper class. Sell something, provide something, be someone greater, do something better, and I'll patronize that. He's got a banner, and I'm going to show it right here. Give me 1 second.
And as you're showing that, I want to encourage you all right now. This is a conference we're having. It's www.comebackchampionsummit.com. For all of you who are listening on the podcast and may not be able to see the screen, it's www.comebackchampionsummit.com. For those that are looking, you can text the word story. There's a special number there because some of you have a story inside of you. Some of you want to share your message. Some of you just want to be a part of it. Text the word story to 202-999-3515. Let me say it again a little slower. Text the word story. Follow the instructions. Text the word story to 202-999-3515. Once you text the word story, just follow the instructions. Register for the conference, no cost. And then also make sure you tell your story. It's going to be amazing.
Absolutely. I'm very proud of you, man. I'm very proud of you, Shay Brown, because you're an example. You take the wisdom of your progenitors, your mother and father, and you mechanize them and you provide them from everybody else. When I asked you to provide some of your greatest information today, you told us what your dad told you. That's a value to all the people out there who might not have had a father in their life. You took it upon yourself to extend information that your father gave you. And then just a couple minutes later, you took what your mother told you and you provided that to us as well. I find deep authenticity in that. And I really like it. Now, I've got about 3 questions for you as we round third base here. Okay. And the first question, what is survival to you?
Survival is being able to wake up the next morning. If all you want to do is survive and God wakes you up, then congratulations. You got air, you're breathing, your lungs are going just fine, your heart's beating. And as long as your eyes open up, you can survive that day. When you look back in 30 seconds or less over the history of your life, every moment that you thought that was the end, guess what? You survived. So as long as you wake up.
We got 20 seconds left.
Mm-hmm.
What is success to you?
Success is being able to serve other people at the capacity that you want to. It's blessing someone else, not worrying about yourself and what you can get in return.
What is greatness to you?
Greatness is going all out. You see behind me, I got Mamba mentality, and it's playing full out, giving the best you can. I love what third grade Marshall said. He said, I did the best I could with what I had. That's greatness. Right. You do the best you can with what you have.
Shay Brown, is there anything else that you would like to say before we move into the actual crescendo tonight?
You know, I would like to say a couple of things. One, I want to say thanks a lot, Cedric, for having this platform, for having this show, and for allowing folks to be able not only be motivated, but to get lessons. And number two, for you out there watching, I know one thing. They say the best time to plant a tree is 30 years ago. The next best time to plant a tree is now. They ain't seen nothing from you yet, because for you watching, put your sunglasses on. The future is bright, and for you, the best is still yet to come. Best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. I believe in you. You're a winner.
Shay, I want to let you know that we've listened to your story today. You've been extremely motivational. And we're giving you your respect today. We're giving you your respect today while you're still living. Ladies and gentlemen, get your crown emojis ready. We are giving you your crown today while you can still receive it. And ladies and gentlemen, put your crown emojis into the chat. We are letting the world know, letting you know that you, Shay Brown, you are America's next motivator.
Woohoo! America's next motivator. Yes.
Absolutely. You got crowns coming into the building. We are appreciating you. Loving the things that you represent today, and you got plenty of crowns coming into the building. Thanks for stopping by today. All right.
Thank you. God bless, man. Peace.
Absolutely. Talk to you later. Peace. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. We got a couple more crowns. Can we reach the time limit? Lenice Lee says, thank you. That's right, sir. Each and every episode of America's Next Motivator is going to have something here for you. All you've got to do is stop by and pick it up.